then, Maras, how do you do? This is my podcast and it's just for you. It's called TED Talks and it's a load of shite, but I hope you enjoy it because I've kept it like it's about an hour long and all about Teesside, the people, the places and the Boro pride.
Welcome to TED Talks, the TED Hanky Podcast. It's proper class, it'll bang your lass, it'll even tickle her ass. Little song there I'm working on, Mala. You like that?
Yeah, it sounds class, that like.
Might get in the charts.
Well, I don't think you would nowadays. Not with talking about tapping people's lasses and that.
Yeah.
Not allowed to talk about anything nowadays.
You can't do anything in the charts these days, can you, Mala? You know what I mean? Katy Perry can talk about kissing girls and liking it, but I can't talk about fingering in a song.
That girl Rihanna can talk about blokes' cocks being big enough and that, but you're not allowed to talk about anything other, are you?
Is that what that Umbrella song's about?
Well, because that was about getting tested for STIs.
Was it?
Well, I get that.
How do you know? Are you still getting Smash Hits magazine? How do you know this?
No, it's an STI magazine that I get. It's called Smashing Tits.
Smashing Tits internally.
Well, and it talks about like when you get the umbrella put down your jap's eye.
Ah, is that what it is?
Well, that's.
I've had that.
Yeah, well,
It was in Clark's, the show shop. Just went in with an umbrella, he just forced it down my foreskin. We're going off track here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 103 of TED Talks, the TED Hanky Podcast. I hope you've enjoyed the earlier 102 episodes, or even if you just listened to the previous 2 episodes, that's good enough because there's no narrative. They're different every week. You could start whenever you wanted, so don't worry about it.
Well, except you missed, like, the brilliant things that we did for the past 102 that were still class.
Yeah, but this week is going to be a beauty, Mala. I can feel it in my gonads.
Hey, Ted, can I just start with something?
That's a lump. What? Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck Brian, Professor Cock, you knobhead.
Oh, yeah. Brian Cox is at the Globe tonight in Stockton and he's looking at the stars and thinking, hey, that one over there is quite nice.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you now, right, that lad, he says he's a professor, right, me and him were having a chat in Howdy's, like, just before I come in, and he was in there, right, and he was ordering some chicken, and I went up and I went, hey, yeah, like, are you a professor and that? And he went, yeah, I'm telling you about the stars, and I said, the world's flat, and he went, I doubt it, and I've just had a big scrap with him so he can fuck off.
Oh, he's rock hard though, Coxie,
well,
isn't he?
Well, he knocked us out to be fair.
He went, you can see stars now, can't you, Mala? Don't know why he talks like that. Yeah, he's a twat, and the parking in Stockton's terrible when there's something on at the Globe. You know, I'm not for it anymore. Me, I don't care about culture. I want parking spaces.
Well, yeah, I've actually been liking it because, you know me, I do my like window cleaning round, and I was stood there and everyone was coming in and I was just like mopping them and squeegeeing it all, and they were like, go away, I'm not paying you any money. I was like, doubt it, I'm going to let your tyres down. So I've made 11 quid.
Yeah, if Mala does approach you at a traffic light or I don't know, for example, a supermarket car park and start squidgying all over your window screen, if you don't pay him, he will then get his cock and balls out on front of the car and he will leave a mess on the windscreen.
But only the first 2 though, because I run out after that.
I couldn't even do one, me. Mine too, bloody hell. Right, we've got some fantastic news stories coming up to talk about and interesting topics of discussion, but I do like to stop it with a little jingle. That was a jingle there. I don't know, that's what the professional podcasters do, don't they? They put like indents in, and I'm hoping then somebody will then automatically insert adverts and pay me for advertising on the podcast, but they never do.
Yeah, I'll pay you 11 quid for my squeegee business.
Mala, listen, Mala, you've been, I understand you've been doing a series of online videos, haven't you, at the minute, where you've been educating the sort of people of Facebook and places like that to be aware of incorrect news stories on places like Lad Bible, Unilad, The Hook, It's Gone Viral. You know them shite things like that. What was it called again?
Right, I was employed to do that,
yeah.
Right, and it's called clickbait.
Clickbait,
and,
yeah.
Well, but Ted, I was only doing that, right? Because you remember when you did that one where it was about like how to avoid nonsense and that, and how to like stuff like if you were going to give stuff to kids and
puppies,
and cars and sweets and that. Do you remember when you did that one?
Yeah.
Remember what was that called?
Jailbait. It was very similar to the one you did, except I was warning them about proper bad things.
I thought it was like an educational thing where you were telling people how to get kids.
No, I wasn't coaching.
No, right,
my coaching days are gone. No, it was warning. It was warning them of the perils of gentlemen hanging around schools with big moustaches, reflective glasses, puppies in the car, sherbet.
I think you need to redo it because I haven't bought a pack of midget gems since.
And midget gems, is that an offensive term now?
I tell you now, right, I'm surprised I'm still here because everyone's cancelled nowadays, aren't they?
Yeah.
I know Jimmy Carr, don't like you anyway, mate, but he's getting cancelled, isn't he?
Yeah, well, we're not going to talk about that horrendous joke he did, but you're right.
If you want to listen to worse ones, go for 102 episodes that we've done. You'll probably
Yeah. We're not even up to the level to even be accredited, never mind cancelled, so how can you cancel something that's already shite?
That's what it is. We're underground cancelled.
We are.
Do you know what I mean?
We are like Fight Club, aren't we? We're an underground secret podcast that nobody knows about.
Or talks about TED Talks. No one listens.
Yeah.
Well,
I know. But I think we that online streaming service On the Tools as well. Have you seen it?
Is that a porn one?
No. It's a load of brickies and a load of like wallpaperers and stuff like that. It's just false as fuck. Like they just get actors to pretend to be them. Well, they've offered us to do one about your packed lunch as well, and they just wanted to call that one bait. So I think that's a council estate name for your packed lunch, bait.
Well, I never used to take packed lunches when I went to school because I got free school dinners. No wrong with that.
No.
But I'm telling you now, I used to laugh at everyone with a crap sandwich when I was eating fish and chips every day.
Well, I'll tell you the story about free school dinners. When I was at school, there was a scruffy lad in the class. I think he might be dead now. But he got free school dinners, but he would never eat them. So I used to take his free school dinners off him, so I'd go twice.
Well, I thought you were talking about that fat lad who used to eat free school dinners. Like 3 in a row. You were just scoffing them off.
That was me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I was known as Fat Theodore back then. Fat Theo. But yeah, so that's it. Right. Well, I think we'll explore a new story, Mala. We always like to scour the internet and all the tabloids and broadsheets, and we always end up on our favourite Teesside Lies. Teesside Lies. And I found a cracking news story, Mala, and I think I looked at some of the pictures in the gallery, and I'm sure you're in the crowd here, and it's from the Globe, back, the Globe, the big theatre in Stockton where Brian Cox is there this week, and Meatloaf's tribute was there the week before. Well,
he's timed his act well, hasn't he?
Fucking right, has he? Yeah. I bet he's absolutely, look at, Back Out of Hell or something like that. Meatloaf dressed as a devil.
He's done well there. Like, do you reckon he just looks on who's going to die next as a celebrity and decides to do a turn as him?
Could be, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm doing my one-man David Attenborough show soon. Here lies the pomegranate. That's it, really. So back in 1965, it was when the Rolling Stones played at the Globe, right? But the funny news story is Mick Jagger was nearly blinded by thugs throwing objects at him on the stage. So there was even riffraff in Stockton back in the 60s.
Well, right, and I'm telling you what, right, I know a little bit about this incident, right? Back in the day, Peacock's, that clothes shop.
Oh, yeah.
Right, that was just starting out, and it was branching, and its first one was in Stockton High Street, right? And Mick Jagger went in there on the morning before he played, and he went, well, I'm looking for... You do the voice, Ted, because it's better than me.
Yeah, my name's Mick Jagger, yeah.
Right, and that's what he said. And they went, all right.
Did he do that as well?
He did, and that was a good move, but you can't see it in the podcast.
Yeah, it was good that.
But, right, and then he went, I'm looking for some jeans, but they need to be stretchy. And the stock, like the lad that was working behind there in that Peacocks in 6'5" went, yeah, I doubt it. There's only we've got leggings, and only lasses wear leggings, so you won't be wearing them because it's 1965 in Stockton, and that means lads can't wear leggings.
Yeah.
And I think Jagger, I only think he purchased some.
Oh, he went, I'm having them leggings, mate. Give them over here.
Well, right, and he went, here, I'll sell you them, mind, but you better not be wearing them. Anyway, that night, right, the crowd was baying for a bit of Jagger. They were all out there, Jagger, Jagger, Jagger. And the lad that owned Peacocks, mind, he was at the front with loads of other burly lads waiting for the Stones to come on, right? And all of a sudden, Jagger only appeared in leggings, didn't he?
Wow.
Oh, yeah, there was uproar, they were kicking off, man, they were throwing stuff everywhere.
Wow. Do you know what, right? This could correlate quite nicely with the story. I'll read some of the quotes here, what Jagger has said about it. He gave this to a chap called Ian Wright, believe it or not the footballer, but he wrote a book about it. He was a photographer, and he said that it was wild, more menacing atmosphere than I'd experienced before. I don't know why he's talking like that now.
Yeah. Isn't that your lad off? Some of us do have it.
He continued on to say that they No, I'll read it in my normal voice now, right? He continued on to say that when they emerged on the stage, they noticed a group of around 20 teddy boys. Well, I think if our dad was one of them, the Peacock lads, in the centre of the lower circle, which he immediately knew was unusual. I don't know why. Maybe Tom Jones told him that. And as soon as Jagger appeared, there was a loud booing and hissing. We're not about the leggings, mind, right? These yobs were turning up the ante. Security could not get them as they were in the middle, and things were getting out of hand, and many of the girls looked terrified. I don't know whether that's because of the leggings again or because of the teddy boys, but this is the best thing. You know, like when we go to gigs and stuff like now, and they'll take your glasses off you and give you a plaggy glass because they don't want you to fling a glass or a bottle, right? Next thing, a 9-inch spanner whirred above my head, bounced off the metal covering, the floodlights, and clattered into Charlie Watt's drum kit. Then I saw Jagger in a spin-like jump. Oh! He finished with his back to the audience, carrying on singing while fumbling in his trouser pocket. Leggings. Yeah. He turned, facing the audience. I could see he was bleeding profusely from a cut over his right eye. Blood was dripping onto his shirt and pants. No one, least of all Jagger, knew what had happened. At the end of the number, management closed the curtains. Well, so if you were the person who threw that rather obtuse spanner at Jagger's head, please contact the show, because otherwise we won't get any satisfaction about that. Have I stole a joke from you there, man? Well, you looked dead disappointed when I said that.
And Peacock, to this day, if you go in there looking for good clothes, you won't get any satisfaction.
Oh, and they might say, hey, you get off of my till.
Well, yeah, what were they doing with the spanner in there, though?
Mate, he must have pissed off maybe a lighting technician or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Maybe he wanted them leggings.
Well,
but do you know how much a ticket cost back then?
Threepence.
62.5 pence.
Well, right, no, that's class, but I try and pay half-pence all the time. They won't have none of it, you know. I've sawed loads in half.
I know you did, yeah.
Well, I have my own pricing structure, you know what I mean?
You've got a 25 pence piece as well, haven't you?
There's no way. Snickers is 89 pence. It's 87 and a half if it's anything.
Don't get me started on Freddo's. Fucking hell. But that's a very interesting... You know, for once, Teesside Lies, you've produced a rather interesting news story there, rather than drug gang caught putting poppers up their arse into prison.
Well, if you have actually produced that story, we'll have to find out of Mick Jagger. Until we do, it's still a lie.
Well, I'm going to credit Ruby Penson there, who was the nostalgia reporter. Thank you very much for producing good journalism for once in Teesside Live. Yeah. Hey, Mala. It's got to be time for Mala's Mostments, hasn't it?
Well,
Here we go then. Malice Mostments.
Yeah, Ted, right?
Yeah.
you knows we are Teesside, we are proud, aren't we?
We are.
Right, and we're class, right, and my Mostment this week can only go to most of the country that we're supporting Man United on Friday night. Fuck off.
Bucci, Adjabo.
What I've been mostly thinking about, right, is how I didn't go to that match.
Sorry.
I didn't go to that match, right, because I don't go away, because I'm a scruffy get, right, but...
And there's some wrong ones after you in Manchester.
Those
dodgy Gaza-Rip shell suits you sold in the 90s.
Absolutely. That's why you stick well away from, like, the whole Northwest, right, but, right, I was watching it on telly, right, and you know what I was really annoyed about is how all of the commentators were just on about United all the time, like, oh, brave United fighting against scruffy Boro. Oh, look at this. United should be winning 10-0 at half-time. Yeah, maybe they should have, but they weren't. And you were like, hey, United are going to come out and do... Hey, that was a handball by what more? It might have been, but it wasn't, was it? Because
it was
the
a
rules...
legal one.
Think about the rules, right? And everybody in the country afterwards was just talking about Man United. Hey, listen, we got through. We're through to the 5th round, so fuck off. We don't care. We are Boro, we are proud. We're not having it anymore. We're sick of all of yous, right? I don't care, right? If we play Tottenham and we get thrashed, right? You'll all be talking how good Tottenham were. We beat Tottenham, you'll still be talking about how crap Tottenham were, but you never talk about the Boro. Hey, I hope we get in the Premier League. I hope Derby go bust, and I hope Steve Gibson has a big shit on the FA's door. Hey, well, that's mostly my moment.
Well, that was Mala's Mostment there, which I might correct her, Mala's Mournment. But it was a worthy one. And, you know, I tell you what, I've not had a twinge in my underpants for many a year until that result came in. I was proper buzzing, you know what I mean? Dial fry, you know, I'll proper bum him now.
Interesting fact, right? Paul Pogba gets paid more a week in wages than the whole Boro squad put together.
Paul Pogba's ear jewellery is worth more than all of the Middlesbrough footballers' cars put together, and that includes Duncan Watmore's. What's he got again? He's got a Nissan Juke, hasn't he, or something?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, Watmore's Juke. That also includes
Marco Bowler.
Marco Bowler, who drives a Vauxhall Nova. At a spot though, he's had it souped up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Ted, right, I know we've finished Mala's Moments now, right, but how scruffy United, how dare you, right? Half the boys and girls left Teesside, didn't they? Rushed from work, because everyone works in Teesside, obviously, right? We rushed over to go watch the match. No one had had the tea, they got in, and we were making too much noise from the first half. We went, hey, we'll quiet them down, and then they put out the announcement, there's no food or drink to be sold at half-time. Hey, are you having a laugh? Right, there was some of my mates, and my brother, and his son, they didn't even get anything to eat until 1 o'clock in the morning. You're having a laugh.
Awful.
Champions League, you're having a laugh. You can't even do a cafe, right, you mongs?
Yeah, you scruffy mank bellwhiffs. I do apologise to any of our mank listeners who do enjoy the show. You're still welcome to listen to it, but if you support Man United, you're a dick. Simple as that, really. Yeah, good. Did you notice any? We've had a bit of uproar following last week's show. Have you had any Squeezy Boy complaints?
Well, I know you have, Ted.
Well, yeah.
No.
I've had a message come through from one who I think may be one of the founding members of the Squeezy Boys, and it's quite a worrying message. I think I should read it out.
We're on the tail. That's right.
I'm going to keep his identity anonymous.
Let's just call him GP.
Yeah, we'll call him GP. Graham Putton. It's Patton, really. He said, Ted, tell Mal I have a confession to make. I've been a squeezy boy once this season on Boxing Day against Forest. Well, it was me mate, as we both got through a turnstile together with my season ticket. We're both on the average size, shall we say. How we never got stuck, I'll never know. He did buy me 5 pints and a couple of sambucas though that night, so I would be prepared to do it again. again, but I'm not prepared to come on for an interview, though, without legal representation.
Well, right, Squeezy Boys, we're on to yous, right? And when the full investigation lands, because Teddy's going to do one, and it's going to be, do you know, like the McIntyre investigate years ago? That's how you're doing it, Ted, isn't it?
I might do it a bit more like Louis Theroux. You know, I might go up to the squeeze. Yeah, I might go up to squeeze and goes, you know, does that make you uncomfortable? You know, me squeezing through behind you, are you uncomfortable with that? Do you think that's right?
Feeling another bloke's wang in your back? Do you like that?
Do you feel like you should be able to sing the songs in the stadium when you've not paid to enter?
Yeah, well, whoever that random guy was that rang in, you know, GP.
Yeah.
Right. Listen,
Gordon Putton.
Yeah. Well, listen. Right. We know the Squeezy Boys, and we know yous are there. We know you're in action, but we are coming for yous because we just don't want to pay have it, do we, Ted? So basically, we want to join the Squeezy Boys. Can we get a four-way going? That's what we're saying. Really. Four-way Squeezy.
Yeah.
Well, it reminds me of my sister.
Yeah, that would be good. I'd like that. Yeah. Well, Mala, there's been a really, really important news story in the news this week, and being the on it journalistic reporter that I am, I've landed us a scoop interview.
Are you class? Who was it?
Yeah, well, did you see in the news that Zouma, the West Ham player, has kicked his cat and it's been videoed, and he's in a lot of trouble for it.
You can't be kicking cats. What are you doing?
I don't know. So I've lined up an interview.
Class, get him on and we'll torture him.
Yeah, no, it's with the cat.
Oh.
yeah. I've managed to get hold of the cat, and I've done an interview with Zouma's cat. So here it is. I've recorded it, and this is for the lovely listeners here. Hello and welcome to TED Talks. I'm here with Kurt Zouma's cat, Slater. Is it Slater, cat Slater?
It's Cat Slater, darling.
Very, very confident. I was going to say pussy there, but cat. We don't want to get confusing. Thank you very much for doing this interview. How are you feeling after you got kicked in the guts?
Well, I'm a little bit bruised because he is a fucking knobhead, and he shouldn't have been kicking pussy. I mean, who goes around kicking a pussy?
Yeah, well, I couldn't think of anything worse. I mean, licking. Does he lick? Does he ever give you a little lick?
Only he used to lick me when it was he was at the Cream, you know, when he was at Chelsea. But now he's gone all East London. He thinks he's a bit Phil Mitchell, doesn't he?
He's I mean, so I take it Kurt found you when he was in his Chelsea days, and now he's took you to when he's moved to West Ham. Has anything changed in your lifestyle?
Well, you know, it's not as nice in West Ham as it was in Chelsea. You know, there was a lot better clientele in Chelsea, and I used to just sit in his lap and he used to stroke me. But now he's getting all so awful. He spent a lot of time at the pub.
He's Kurt Zouma there, yeah. I mean, I've seen the video where he give you a little hoof and he's got some incredibly tight jeggings on. It doesn't look good.
Well, them jeggings, you see, I think that's the problem. I think there's a lot of problem with people wearing jeggings. I think it incites violence.
Yeah, I think I mean, he might have got them from Peacocks. I've heard rumours. So, what's the plan of action going forward now? Because I understand that the police aren't going to prosecute him. Are you a forgiven pussy?
I'm always a forgiven pussy, and I was thinking that there was a lovely little fish and chip shop run by a lovely guy called Ian Beale across the road. I might go over there, but I think I might be moving in with somebody else.
Oh, so you're thinking now, Kurt's had his moment, he's disrespected you, he's taken advantage, nobody deserves domestic violence against a pussycat, and you're going to leave him?
I am going to leave him, and like a good old, you know, East End villain and a gangster mole that I am, I'm only going to move in with someone that he loves, and he loves me as well, and he loves feeling my pussy. It's only Mark Noble.
It's time for the horny Hispanic disco devil, Randy Diablo, with a Valentines special of love tips. Hola, this is me, Randy Diablo. Thank you very much for joining me once more for my love tips. Over the past few weeks, I've taught you the ways of the woman, and also how to entice the man as well. This week is my Valentine's special. It is coming to February the 14th. Perhaps you are listening to this after it. Hopefully, you will have got some nice, romantic, sexy time with your partner and lover. These are my tips of how to make it a very successful Valentine's Day this year. See? Okay. Cards and gifts. They're just materialistic bullshit. I often find, if you are on the app Snapchat, it is often more romantic to send your partner a cheeky Valentine's picture of your penis or vagina. They will appreciate that much more. Think they are sat at work in a work meeting and their phone vibrates in their pocket, and they take it out, and have a little look, and there it is, your Valentine's snapper, staring right at them. That would cheer me up for sure, so do remember that. Okay, secondly, if you do decide to go along the route of the gifts, forget the fucking flowers, they don't last, they make your kitchen stink of pee. Don't be buying the flowers. Get some nice chocolate for the lady or the guy, Now, I'm not talking like a Cadbury's cream egg or even, a caramel bar or anything shit like that. And stay away from the dairy milk. It's very obvious, you have bought that from a B&M Home Bargains or somewhere shit like that, Go for a real smooth, dark chocolate, essential chocolate. One that you could maybe melt later on and lick off each other's nipples, So make sure it is a good quality chocolate. Chocolate is always the way to a man and a lady's heart, and, in often, it can lead to you, smothering it all over the ball bag or the miff. Now you got to go out for the night out, the date, Don't be going to the pictures, the cinemas, it's pointless. You sit there next to each other eating a popcorn, watching a shit movie. The only benefit of going to the pictures is if you go and see a film that no one else is in there and she can pipe you off in the dark, or you can have a little finger. So don't even bother with the pictures, okay? My advice is you go to a nice restaurant, okay? Now, I'm not talking like you're taking her to the takeaway shop, for a parmesan or a kebab, I'm talking like fine Mediterranean food, see? So you take her out for a nice steak, a paella, something nice, have some oysters, you get the aphrodisiac going. It all works well for later on, trust me. A nice bottle of Rioja, red Rioja, You drink a lot of this, you both lose your inhibitions. She might take her shoe off under the table and rub a big toe all over your nutsack. That is good. You can do the same to her, but be very mindful of having sharp toenails. You do not want to pierce the labia with your crusty toenails, sir. No. You are home, you are back in the house with your date or your partner, or you're a bit on the side if you are a bit of a player like me. You put on some nice music, as we've established in earlier episodes, a bit of Carlos Santana, some nice funky disco jazz that always works well for me. Get down on it if you really want it, that type of stuff, that works well. You're planting the seed into the mind. You're telling us to get down on your cock. Simple. Play that song. Everyone loves a bit of fucking cool in the gang, for sure. Okay, you're moving, you're losing your inhibitions even more at home, you're drinking more wine, you might have some fresh olives or grapes or maybe a cheese board, and then don't even think about trying to say, come on, let's go upstairs and have a roll around on the bed. Don't do it. You need to seduce her there and then, maybe in front of an open fire, maybe across a Chesterfield armchair.
And you want to be bending her over that Chesterfield armchair. She wants to be riding you. Ladies, if you're listening to this, a man would never refuse a gobble if you are going to go down and he sat in a Chesterfield armchair holding a brandy. It is simple. It is one of our fantasies. So, maybe invite a friend round as well. That is another one. But that's for another episode, the threesome episode. But yeah, you need to get really stuck into the sexy time right then and there. If you have a nice soft rug, you put the fire on fire, you're making love on the rug. That is a piece of rug on the rug, for sure. You're going deep, you're going fast, you're going sensual. Just do not ejaculate into the rug. It is a very persistent stain and awful to remove from a fur rug. See? It is the next day, the morning after. Maybe this is the first time she has stayed over or he has stayed over at yours. You've got to assess each other. You've had a lot of wine and paella and Carlos Santana. You check each other out. You like what you see? You'll make arrangements for further dates. You might even have another little roll around right then and there. Think about it. If your bedsheets are full of makeup or back hair, you kick that motherfucker out. You order that person a taxi and you'll never see them again. Block them on the Tinder or the Grindr or whatever the fucking hell you use. Then, you do it all again the next night. I've been Andy Diablo. It's been a pleasure sharing with you my secrets of the love. Go forth and bang as many people as you can. See, adios.
There's tragic. We've covered a lot of news stories today. We've covered quite a bit of good news, bad news, cat kitten news, cat kitten, kicking cats. I can't say it.
Kicking Man Utd news as well.
I don't know. But I've got a really, really bad news. You know me, right? Growing up in Thorntree Road in Thornaby, then Lanehouse Road in Thornaby, I was a massive fan of the Neighbours.
Yeah, I know, but that's only because they used to get undressed in front of the window, and they used to get the knocks out and that, and they used to have a quick frack.
I'm not on about bloody big chubby Cheryl next door. I'm on about the TV show Neighbours. It might be getting axed from Channel 5.
Yeah, no way. Are you joking?
Yeah, and that really upsets me because I probably had, 90% of my most memorable tugs have been over Neighbours. The other 10% probably Home and Away, or there might have been the odd Crossroads tug in there as well. But mainly Neighbours over the years, and it's quite upsetting that it's going to be no longer on the television for me to just pop it on and have a tug.
Well, yeah, there's been some quality flange in there, wasn't there, if you don't mind me saying, and there's been some quality todger for all you girls.
Fuck the todger. We are going to cover off Ted's top Aussie flange from Neighbours. I don't know if they're all Aussie or not, but they're all flange from Neighbours. Do us another one of them, do Ted's top 5 flange.
Do Ted's top 5 flange. In at 5.
That's right. In at 5 is the very beautiful Annalise Hartman. Now, you may remember her as Kimberly Davies is her real name, and she played the role of Annalise Hartman. She was a beautiful, beautiful blonde temptress in Neighbours, and I think she got married to a vicar, if I remember rightly.
Did she have massive knocks?
No, she married... he was called Sam Kratz. He was a mechanic. She married him.
I thought he was a vicar.
No, I got it wrong. But I think she married him in real life. Actually, that Sam Kratz, the actor Richard Grieve, if I may add, so there, you know what I mean. But anyway, Annalise Hartman was a very, very beautiful blonde temptress with a bust. Oh, the bust! Look at that picture there, Mala, of that bust.
Is that Nelson?
Yeah.
No, you mean an ox? Yeah, I see what you mean.
She was absolutely. she was just look at them.
Yeah, well, that's class. That.
Yeah, but I was I knocked out loads of cheeky tugs over Annalise in Neighbours, but she only made it in the top 5. Shall we move on to number 4?
Well, At number 4.
Number 4 is household favourite Libby Kennedy. Libby Kennedy, played by fucking Libby Kennedy, played by the beautiful Kim Valentine. Now, a little story about this. When I was at university, there was a very, very beautiful receptionist.
Just to tell everybody that you were a janitor at uni, weren't you? Like in that thing where he plays it and he's doing that stuff where he's actually a math magician.
Yeah,
that movie. You were like the janitor, weren't you?
I was, yeah. But the beautiful Libby Kennedy actually helped me through some very difficult times. She joined the show in 1994, and I probably had 1,994 wanks over her as well. And there was, like I said, a clerical assistant at the University Teesside who looked very much like her. And I went on the Tuxedo Royale, the revolving dance floor, and got fired into a big time.
Well, that was a revolving poke, that one. It
was the only time I've ever fingered a lass while spinning around.
Well, class. And didn't Kylie Minogue do spinning around?
She might have. Oh. And does she feature in the top 5? We'll have to wait and see. But Libby Kennedy is number 4.
Number 3.
Number 3 is the very, very beautiful Flick Scully. And I'm sure a lot of ladies had a flick over her as well with the old Scully flaps. She was an absolutely beautiful piece of fluff, played by the very beautiful Holly Valance, who was also in movies with Liam Neeson. She was in Taken with Liam Neeson, believe it or not. She was the pop singer.
A song as well.
She did, yeah. It was called, what was it called?
I don't know, but she was class. I remember Holly Valance. She was like, when Britney Spears was big getting dirty, she was like, well, I'm going to be dirtier.
She was like a cross between Aguilera and Spears, and the song was called Kiss Kiss.
That's it.
And I remember it. I remember it like it was yesterday. She was so beautiful. I think it went something along the lines of the song was Kiss Kiss. Tuck your shirt in, down boy. City ain't big enough. Cocktails and parties. Whoop.
I'm sure that was the tune that it went by as well.
But it had like a sort of like, like Indian sort of vibe to it.
Because you're going to get my kiss kiss.
Yeah. Beautiful Holly Valance. She did another song called Down Boy, which was after something I sent her in the post.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, that was number 3 was a beautiful Flick Scully, Holly Valance.
Number 2.
In at number 2, bit of a shock for you. It is Charlene Robinson, played by Kylie Minogue.
Right, how dare you? Because I know you put it number 1. I'm going to fight you. I am going to fight you now, because I'm telling you now, there's only one Minogue in this place that deserves to be number 1, and it isn't who you're going to put there. I'm telling you now, Ted.
Danny Minogue wasn't in Neighbours. She was in Home and Away, if that's what you're thinking.
So will I, honestly.
Yeah.
Yes, all right, I'll forgive you then, the saucy little mix.
So Charlene Robinson is in at number 2 there, as from the beautiful Kylie Minogue, and she married Jason Donovan, didn't she? It was Scott
Together,
Robinson, yeah.
We and you can be together. Do you remember that from the episode?
Especially for you, I'm gonna bend you over now and scuttle your flu.
That was when the Venga Boys released the version of it.
The Out of Your Brothers version. It was the dirty version. Yeah, but yeah, Kylie and Jason. Fuck Jason, he was all about Kylie. He just went and did loads of drugs, and she just probably did the same with Michael Hutchence as well. But 1985.
Didn't Robbie Williams get fired into into her.
I think a lot of people have. No, did Williams do Kylie or did he do Nicole Kidman?
I think it was Kylie because they didn't do the song together.
He did a Christmas song with Kidman as well.
Yeah,
and I think he fired into Kidman. He's done Minigue and he's done nearly all the Spice Girls.
The class arsehole Kylie, and she's the best in the world.
I'm just spunk and thinking about it. Beautiful. Yeah, but she's number 2. Who do you think's going to be my number 1, Mala? Let's wait and see.
In at number 1.
Oh, in at number 1 is a very, very beautiful lady played by the actress Caroline Gilmer. Yes, it was the rather sexy and sultry Cheryl Stark.
Where's Madge Mangle?
I was thinking about Helen Helen Daniels, sorry, and I was thinking about Susan Kennedy, and I was thinking about Madge as well, and I would have had to go on Vouch as well. But Cheryl Stark, oh, she was Lou Stark's wife. Do you remember her? She looked a bit like Julie, who we used remember? Because she reminds me about Julie, and I've still not got over her. And
she's a big girl. It takes a while to get over her.
I love the back-combed hair, the beautiful green eyes, and the cheeks that looked like they were full of balls. Beautiful Cheryl Stark. And there was a point in Cheryl Stark where she took ill for 8 weeks, and instead of writing out the show, they just replaced her with another Cheryl Stark who looked nothing like her. But I still had a couple of little tugs over the new Cheryl Stark.
Is it that like when you put that other Mala in for me? That's
when I put in Indian Mala.
That's right. You were never allowed to broadcast them, were you?
Wasn't. No, he was so racist. He really was. But yeah, so that is me top 5. Neighbours flange. Please don't cancel it. But I've still got the memories, and probably still the really hard sock as well. Yeah. Oh, Mala. That was me doing an impression. Oh, Mala, it's time to end the show. Are you going to leave us this week properly, or are you going to just fuck off in a puff of smoke?
No, I tell you what, right? It's about that time when I know he's going to be leaving that theatre soon at the Globe, and you know we only live at the Green Dragon. So, Brian Cox, you better put your mouth guard in, because I'm coming for you this time. Tell me the earth is flat. You're going to be flat out. I'll see you in a bit, Ted.
See you later, Mala. There, he's off over the Globe to spark out Professor Brian Cox, who's going to no doubt be amazed by what the world looks like when sparked out by Mala. Yeah. Cool. That is another episode done and dusted of TED Talks, the TED Hanky Podcast. It's proper class and that, you know what I mean. Big thank you to the sponsors of the podcast, Showcase Comedy and JokePit.com. Showcase Comedy providing comedy nights left, right and centre all over the place. JokePit.com selling you the tickets. It's a platform and it's great, and it promotes comedy, and it promotes this one as well, which is always nice. Yeah. A little reminder, the Hanky Panky Comedy Club is back at Beer and Beer on Friday, February the 25th, and it's selling rather well. So if you want some tickets, go to jokepit.com or go to my Facebook socials, grab your tickets early. There's not many left. It's booked in monthly right the way until the end of the year. Also got a new night starting at the Swan in Billingham, where I'm hosting that. I don't know if it'll be regular for me, but I'm doing the first one, and that is on Friday, March the 18th. And rumour has it I might be starting a little hanky-panky sort of new act night in Stockton as well. Venue to be announced very soon. We'll get some alright comedians on, and then we'll get a class one at the end, and I'll do the bits in between to keep you tuppence tickled. Simple as that, really. But yeah, listen, buzzing after the Boro win. All right, we might have lost some momentum there with the draw against QPR. We should have won that one as well. So it's been 2 good performances. Looking forward to the remainder of the season with Wilder Ball, as it's known as now. But listen, have a great week. Please share the podcast around. Invite your friends, your family, neighbour. You might have a one-night stand. Get them to listen to it as well. Or listen to the podcast. Share it about. I need more listeners. I'm going to be launching my own t-shirt shop soon as well with some proper class designs. Honestly, watch this space. The world is me oysters. It really is. Is it the world is your oysters? Or is it the world is your calamari? I don't know what it is, but it's going to be one of them. So listen, look after yourselves, up the Boro and believe.